Pipe Network presents.
On this episode of Season 4, Let's Talk.
One of the mistakes that I realized when I was doing all of those things, yun nga, sabi mo, I did the paperwork and then perform and blah, 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 blah. One of the things that I realized that time was that if you have a dream, even if you're the only one doing it, you have to do it just to fulfill your dream. So, it was my dream for our music to be seen by a large crowd. It was my dream to promote BA music to a higher level. Diba? We got recognized for it. We even got featured in the magazine of SLAS. And then, yeah, we were the first batch who had a concert at the gym, and our songs were copyrighted by the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines. We were the batch that achieved that. Well, it's because it starts with a dream.
Before we get into this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to whichever platform you are using. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at The Rajiv Show. Hey folks, welcome back to The Rajiv Show, and I'm your host Rajiv Doreswamy, and this show aims to help reach out to those who are currently struggling in life and to remind you that life is indeed beautiful when you're inspired to make it your own. All right, folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show. And this time I'm going to take myself back to college because I think I left something over in UB, which is, of course, my classmate, Jisrit Alep, which is also a graduate. A phenomenal legend. She is a phenomenal legend in her field. She is a drummer, mind you, folks. She is a phenomenal, legendary drummer. She used to drum for the orchestra and countless other bands, I'm sure. And many people know her as a lot of basically phenomenal legend. And this is going to be the most interesting conversations because I am excited and scared at the same time. So, folks, let me introduce my guest today, Jisrit Alep. Hey, how are you doing?
Hi, Rajiv. I'm doing fine. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Before we begin, could you give a little bit of background aside from, of course, the enormous introduction that I gave? Could you give a little bit of background about yourself to my listeners?
About me? So yan, no? Is it okay if I speak in Tagalog or English?
Taglish would be fine.
Taglish. Okay, good. Yeah, Rajiv was my classmate in college in UB Music. So I graduated last year, 2019. Then after some time, I was employed as a music admin in a karaoke company. So I was researching songs, kung ano yung songs na pwede ilagay sa karaoke. I was also taking care of the quality control of our products. Yun, basically, nagre-release kami ng songs or updates for the karaoke. Then, sometime along the way, yung Facebook team namin or yung nag-handle ng Facebook namin, parang interesado ako dun sa mga ginagawa nila. Kasi it involves video editing, yung mga shooting, ganyan. I'm the type of person kasi na hindi ako makontento na I'm just doing what I'm doing. I want to try other stuff. So, I basically volunteered for that role. And eventually, nagkaroon ako ng interest about marketing. So, given this pandemic, parang realize ko na kailangan nating mag-adapt with the changing times and with the digitalization of things. of everything, like businesses and the way we do things. Sabi ko, kailangan ko na rin mag-adapt into this digital world. Tapos, me and my friends, kaming mga music admin, it's just me, we're four in the team, mga music admin. We're friends as well outside work. Tapos, I pitched an idea to them na mag-start kami ng online business, and then they were very enthusiastic about it. So since I'm the picture of the idea, and while I was studying about making a business, yung kasi yung product namin, it's so common that wala siyang identity. So what I did was I enrolled in a course in College of St. Benil in Lasal about strategic branding. So habang andun ako, well, it's a course naman, training us about branding and marketing and stuff. Tapos habang andun ako, parang sabi ko, parang pwede ako sa field na to. Kasi it involves storytelling and yun nga, growing the business so that people can will be attracted to your business through advertising, through very witty ads and copyright like that. So, nung din naman, nung time, all of this was happening all together. At that time, medyo, paano ba? Yung work ko sa office, it was becoming, parang stagnant for me. Gusto ko ng growth.
Yeah.
But then the company cannot provide sorry, ito na lang to.
Yeah.
And the company wasn't willing really to give me that growth or something like that. So, yun, I looked for other places where I can grow, and eventually I was also into stock trading. So yung platform na ginagamit ko for checking charts, it's called Investagrams. Nag-check ako kung hiring sila, and eventually hiring sila ng content marketer. Tapos yun, nag-apply ako, and nabola naman natin sila. I'm now I'm now working with them as a content marketer. So lahat ng memes na nakikita dyan. Actually, ang hawak ko ngayon yung Investa University.
Oh, wow.
That's one of our projects wherein tinuturuan namin yung lahat ng Pinoy para maging financially free through the stock market. So, provide free materials para magturo about the stock market. And bukod dun sa lessons and other stuff, yun, ang focus ko talaga ay sa marketing nung Investa University. So, I also make YouTube vlogs in the YouTube channel. Yan. And eventually, hindi kami fixed sa mga projects namin. We are like water. We can be placed anywhere. So, if this is my assignment as of the moment, I'm not forever here. Maybe I'll be assigned to another project next time. So, yun, as of the moment, I'll be celebrating my first month on November 12.
Wow.
Mga 3 weeks pa lang ako dito sa work na to.
That's nice. Interesting.
Ayun.
Interesting. You unpacked a lot of thing in our opening intro, but yeah, we're gonna get into those topics. But first of all, we're gonna take a time machine back in, and we're gonna travel in the past. And my first question that I ask is that if you and I were classmates in high school, you mentioned, you and I were classmates in college. I gotta ask, how were you in high school? Were you the same, or were you different?
Of course, I was different.
Yeah.
Nung high school, yeah, dito kasi sa Pilipinas, yung public schools, meron silang ino-offer na science high schools. So, yung mga geeky people.
You're from
Nasama
that
lang
batch?
ako doon. But Yeah, that category, science high school. Yung mga advanced subjects. Meron kaming mga advanced subjects like advanced physics, chemistry, mga ganyan. So, instead of you taking algebra, trigonometry pala, instead of normal people taking trigonometry on 4th year, kami itinetake na namin yun on our 3rd year.
Wow.
So, yeah. Doon ako nung high school.
Yeah.
I got the siguro nakapasok lang ako doon, nakachamba lang dahil above average naman yung natin, yung pinagpala naman tayo sa IQ. But then kasi in my heart, I'm an artist eh.
That's true.
I'm just like you, Rajiv, na I'm at the back, nagdo-drawing, nagpe-painting. But all honesty, hindi ako nakikinig sa lessons eh. I don't fucking care about yung measurement ng ganito, ng ganyan.
Yeah,
I almost
find
failed
X.
chemistry. Yeah, find X and whatever. I'm not into those things.
Yeah.
My mind is bored kapag yung mga scientific stuff ang involved. But, I'm the artist. Dinadala ko yung drum set ko sa school every year. Nagja-jamming kami sa classroom. I also bring my watercolor, my oil painting stuff. Kaya, you won't ever see me studying, but you'll ever see me playing the guitar, the drums, and painting and drawing. Yun lang ginawa ko nung high school. Yes. Exactly. Tapos, ang mahirap doon, since hindi nga ako pala-aral, syempre mababa yung grades ko. Kasi, you're the cream of the crop eh. Kasama mo yung mga sobrang tatalino sa school, di ba?
Oh, tapos, you're associated with them.
Kasama ka doon eh, hindi ka naman.
That's kind of weird. Ang weird naman.
Kasi dito sa Philippines, Rajiv you take an entrance exam and then yung the cream of the crop, yung mga pinakamatataas na scores, yung halimbawa, in a batch, you're like 1,000. The top 150, kayo yung science class. Something like that.
And you're somewhere 1,000 number.
No naman. I'm still part of the top 150. But then kasi in my heart, I'm really an artist. Yun.
A lot of stuff that I want to unpack from, of course, in school, in college. Questions are probably left unanswered. We've had a lot of fun.
Okay.
The first thing was, folks, for those who are tuning in, my first impression of the batch, I call you the batch, with the other folks I don't want to name. Yeah, you guys were phenomenal, and I don't really blame you guys personally. Is that you guys scared the crap out of us, a large sum of us, when first theory, music theory came in, and then you guys were answering questions that we didn't even expect. You guys were like the guerrilla warfare from the mountains, shooting, and then we are right in the middle, and where are these bullets coming from, So that was the impression that we had. We were scared, and I think you and I, our relationship then as friends we were not seeing eye to eye. Only we were challenged only when you and I worked professionally, and I think that was the first time. That was the first time when you became president, and then you also managed us in a band, which stories where we're gonna uncover here. There's a lot of stuff to unpack in this conversation, like I said. So how long have you been, of course, I gotta ask the question that I'm sure I've never asked this. How long have you been playing the drums?
Playing the drums. Siguro I can say mga 10 years old. I'm 29 as of the moment. I'm turning 30 sa March of next year. So, siguro by the time you hear this, I'm already 30 years old.
Yeah.
So, mga 20 years of playing drums.
Oh. Legend. And the questions that I asked that Sing I've never asked is that how good you guys were, like the best when it came to theory, and the worst ones were where I felt brutally dismembered was when you guys did the dictation and you could catch it, and dictation for those who are listening, dictation is one of our subjects where we hear a piece of music that's played by either the piano or I think guitar, and we are supposed to notate that. And one thing I'm blown a bit away by Jis's ability is that she can get rhythm pretty quick. Melody, she's also on the dot. Like, it's funny. The last time I went live, she knew that the guitar was out of tune and it was not even close to the mic. It was kind of strange, and this, like I said, this legend that I'm talking to right now is a phenomenal legend when it comes to music. And I think music is life. Do you agree with me in terms of your thing?
Yeah. Rajiv, I've been playing drums even before he studied music. So, yung dictation, rhythmic dictation, that's easy peasy for me. But when it comes to melodic dictation and mga chorus class, I'm such a bobo in that. Tapos yung sinabi mo na you were out of tune and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I guess it came with our training as well. Kasi in music school, even if you don't have the ears, you will have ears because you will be trained to have ears for that. Yeah. So to anyone who's listening and you think that you don't have a talent in music, please don't give up. Naaaral po lahat sa music. We are just the same. I was very out of tune before, but when I had my lessons, voice lessons, and na-correct naman yung pitch natin.
True. The first half of that, and then it went downhill, I remember. Because the fun was taken out of us. I'm sure you remember that. The first two
Which one?
2 semesters of vocal classes were much fun, and
then
chorus. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And then the fun went went downhill. This is more like a recorded catch-up, just so you know, folks. Because Jis, like I said, Jis is phenomenal sing. And I mean, music has been part of her life, which is interesting. Is there any particular quotes that you live by when it came to playing music, being on stage? Do you have a ritual that you do? Like when competitors they play the game, they go, they meditate, they're off in their own, and then once they get into the game, they're a different mindset. Do you have that kind of ritual or thing with you when it comes to
performances?
Yeah.
Wala akong ritual, Rajiv, but I believe in practice talaga. That's why yung nung time na kinoach ko kayo, I coached Rajiv's band in a battle of the bands. That's why our practices were so rigorous and I corrected every move. It's because I want to imbibe in you the correct things sa practice pa lang. I-correct na natin yung mga dapat i-correct. And then as the days come nearer to the day of competition, dapat yung yung muscle memory, yun na yung nasa inyo.
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to develop. So I believe in practice kasi whatever you did in your practice, then dagdagan mo ng kaba at mental block at hiya sa stage and whatever, yun yung lalabas sa stage.
Yeah.
So, I really, really wanted you guys to correct what you were missing nung time ng practice. So that when it comes to performance, relax na lang, hindi na kayo masa-stress na mag-perform. So for me, my ritual before performing siguro is relaxing. Kasi you already did your practice.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. It's already engraved. And wow. Since you opened that story, I have to take people back into that saying. For the folks who don't know, what we were talking about during the Battle of the Bands, this was the first time I felt having the pressure of having a manager. and just really, yeah, I do agree that she really straightened the crap out of all of us. And but during that time, it was not really the best of seasons because a lot of us had different. You know what I mean? I don't want to continue that part, but there's this funny story that I
A
shared.
lot of ano.
Y- Here and there, some crying and all that, whatever shit that was going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a lot of booze sessions. Yeah, I remember there was a lot of booze sessions during those times. And yeah, but there's this story that I think I don't know if I've shared it in the recent podcast episodes. But there was this time where this was a crunch time. I remember this was the day as though it was yesterday, where we were there. I think 7 or 8, and we were assembled in one of this very cramped up music studio. And of course, I had my baby guitar, my
Mm-mm.
baby bass guitar, Red, with me. It was funny. The story goes that I've told many people, I'm retiring from the bass and all that stuff. And when we were practicing, for me, it was so funny that the bass, the bass guitar died on me because of the fact that I told that to everybody. So I remember we tried to revive it by changing the batteries, and it so happened during that gig, it was luckily the bass guitar died during the practice instead of the entire show. Someone
Mm-hmm.
left a yellow bass guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember rejoicing so well because had not been for that bass guitar, I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
have taken a double bass playing Linkin Park. Yeah, the theme was rock theme, so it was dedication to Cranberries and Linkin Park. So we played Points of Authority, and I forgot the other one because I was having fun with Points of Authority, and then it
Numb
went
ata.
down. Numb, yeah, yeah, numb. So yeah,
Numb.
the end of that story
Uy, ang
goes,
fun nun ah.
and we didn't expect much from that gig. We just had fun. It was funny. We didn't really bash on the except of course one person from our band who looked at everybody and all this stuff. That was normal for us, but I think it was even documented by one of our band member. It was an amazing experience in the end. And yeah, it was sad that it was my last gig playing the bass, and I never really touched the bass ever since. But the story of,
Really?
yeah,
How
I've never.
come?
Uh, One is the bass died. The funeral was the same day as that that performance itself, and
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. It was actually to go back again to what happened behind that. I don't think it was on purpose because there was a night where we were heading towards a jam studio at the shop here in Baguio, and I think we were heading
Mm-mm.
I stayed over at a friend's place, and then we were heading, but it was bad timing by the time we were heading into the studio. I don't think we remember mentioning this to you. We got drenched. My bass had uh, the soft case and the sponge and everything was coming out of that
Mm.
thing. So it was possible that during the rains, the bass got wet along the openings of that stuff. But it was surprising.
Mm-mm.
Throughout that time,
Oh.
it was still working condition ever since that luckily practice session. And yeah, but I played music again, and that was the recital, which yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, I mean, I played guitar at that time, and but I really enjoyed being managed. To be honest, I enjoyed being managed by the one and only Just because yeah, I mean, she was tough on us. She really caned us, not physically but mentally caned us. And yeah, to end that story, we won first prize, and I think
Yes.
someone took home the medal, and I do not know. I'm not pointing fingers, but I remember someone took home the medal. We were supposed to share it.
Hindi. Nasa ano yon? Nasa SLAS yun.
Before it went back to Slash, I remember someone took home the. I think it was. I don't know if it was if I'm saying on drugs or something, but I remember when we were celebrating and we were looking at that thing, someone said, "Hey, after all of this stuff, my voice." I think it was the vocalist. Yeah, it was the vocalist. He said, "I want to take this home before we give it to Eslas," because all the hard work and all that stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember if he really did that, but yeah, and then we went back to Eslas. We made a deal actually. All of us would take a piece of it and take it home and then cherish it and then give
Mm-hmm.
it to Slash. But the plan got scrapped because I think, yeah, that experience in itself was
Mm.
thing. We had a lot of amazing moments in music. For us,
Yeah.
when we were in music society, even when Jace was not president, there was a lot of stuff that we goofed off and we managed to pull it off. um we I'm gonna showboat a lot of the achievements that my great president. I still consider you president, even though I'm a graduate. I still consider you the president of the batch. The greatest achievements that my
Salamat.
president has ever done was, of course, the first one was, of course, the team building. That was the first experience that
Mm-hmm.
thing. And from that, from the team building, we had these day and night. We had these events called day and night, where the day portion we occupy a particular room in our hall in
Mm-hmm.
SLAS now, which is called
Mm-hmm.
Stella, which we really hate. And we occupy that room and then we colorize it in such a way that it's the effect. And I think the first one was when the theme was fire. I think that was the theme. I remember I was documenting that. I was the
Mm-hmm.
document guy. I was basically the guy with the camera, and it was fire and it was phenomenal. It was stressful where we were trying to catch up because during that time, during the day and night event, I think Pinagbenga season was coming in, so traffic was a little bit of pain in the ass. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of people were late, and some people who didn't wake up a lot. uh, and that was one experience. And then um, after that, we had there was a time where Mr. and Miss Music didn't perform and compete in the pageant, which is the night
Mm-hmm.
event of the day and night. So instead, that our backup plan was to entice the folks with rondalia music. And rondalia music,
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was stressful, but it was fun at the same time. And uh, I don't know. I think we got an award for it or something. We
Yep.
Yeah, I remember we had an award, and that was one. What are the other moments? Movie night. Yes, we were watching this
Is it August Rush?
August Rush. Yeah, August Rush. That was fun. That was the during the term of President G's. We basically had a lot of fun. It was stressful working for her, but the end result of it was fun. We had a lot of workshops, and it kind of it changed the game. And that's one thing I really praise
Mm-hmm.
you for is you changed the game. Prior to the presidents before you, of course, who started the fire, and I praise them for starting the fire, igniting the fire. You were the one who maintained it through and through, and it was not really that stagnant, as you mentioned, not that stagnant feeling. It was more of growth because uh, before we met each other and we got to know each other, we only got to know each other on the second year. So it was tough
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it was tough connecting with other people because we were isolated. Once we were isolated, that's when we got to know each other and thing. But the earlier years, it was tough. We did not know who our seniors were. We did not know who our juniors were. And then when
Mm.
the pioneers and of course G's came in, and they came in and they said, "Hey, we're gonna change the game." And yeah, it's they changed the game to a certain extent that we got to know. The juniors came to us, and we
Yep.
didn't even sing. We didn't even look back. We didn't even have the struggle because the community built. And Eman, if Eman is tuning to this thing, shout out. And he's maintaining, shout out to him and his group.
Yep.
And there's a lot of fun stuff. And then I want to get off of college from there, because even out of college, I think we've spent time. And it was funny in our batch. Only you and I were the closest that we communicated. There were certain times, I kept bugging you because I think that was my nature. And those times when I was bugging you, it was not the best of seasons. But yeah, well, in the end of it, it was
Kailan
funny.
yun?
Yeah, it was kind of normal. It was natural. And outside, I think we had a lot of coffee. We had a cup of coffee, and we shared a lot of funny stories.
That coffee date.
Yeah.
That one. Aha.
Yeah.
Can I tell that story? Will
Um,
you let your audience hear about that story?
Before we get into that story, we're gonna have a short break, because I think, I think we've opened up a box that I think I didn't want to open. Folks, those who are tuning in, we're gonna come back after these few short messages.
Hey everyone! We are the 3am Avenue podcast series, ang hashtag tropang madaming ebas.
Here to have genuine conversations about life, love, career, and many more.
Don't forget to search for us on Spotify. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at 3am Podcast Series to hear more about our Tropas Kwentuhans, adventures, and journey towards reaching our goals. See you, mga katropa!
FC
Hey, pal!
Folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show. I already started laughing. Anyway, we are reminiscing about the moments that we had in college. And I think I missed out one particular detail, which was one of the best feelings. And this was a play. And of course, my guest was the one and only director, producer, writer. She really did a lot. And I still remember the song Forever. The melody is still in my head. And she really did a good job in that during that production. It was kind of stereotypical. I didn't take it personally, though, that I was made a villain in that play. But yeah, I'd expected it to be there, and somewhere in my achievements, probably, I'd be a villain. But yeah. It was a fun experience for those who don't know. It was stressful, but I think I kind of paid off from the dinner that we had before the show, which was kind of fun. We went to Good Taste. I'm sure you remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. It was fun. Now, before the break, there was a story that I unboxed unsubconsciously that I didn't really want to unbox, but yeah, heck, this is let's go with it. Let's go. I mean, yeah. I know I'm gonna be embarrassed nonetheless, but yeah, let's go. Just please tell the folks.
Well, it's
No names.
more of a funny story. Well, it's more of a funny story than an embarrassing one. Ano lang naman, nag-aya lang naman. Meron akong kakilala, nag-aya siya ng kape. Tapos, yun, yung coffee place is one of my favorites dyan sa Mila Trinidad, The Cabin.
Yeah.
And, nag-aya siya. Yan. So, I went, and then, I assumed that he will pay for the coffee. Siguro mali din yung assumption ko eh. Kasi siya yung nag-aya eh, di ba? Usually, if you're the one who offers or ikaw yung nag-invite to have coffee, you pay for the coffee or 50-50. Then, we had our coffee, we had our fun, blah, 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 ganyan. Noong time na ng bayaran, wala pala siyang pera.
I forgot.
Nilakad lang siya mula sa bahay hanggang dun sa coffee shop.
Yeah.
Sobrang bloopers. Buti na lang.
Hindi na vlog. Yeah, that was fun. The stories there, yeah, they remain. I don't know if they're gonna be exposed in this conversation, but yeah, the stories that we shared over that coffee and the Jollibee experience, that was the second one actually, because at that time,
Jollibee?
yeah, we were supposed to have another part two before you were heading off to Manila. And then, unfortunately, at
Mm-hmm.
that time when we were meeting, remember there was an extensive brownout throughout La Trinidad. So instead of going to your favorite
Mm.
coffee place, we went to Jollibee,
Ah.
and you gave me this. You're such a phenomenal person. I think I still have the stuff that you gave me, the drawing pad, the small cute drawing pad, and that DVD or VCD or something. It's here. Oops. Yeah. Speaking of food, the food is already coming out. But yeah, the DVD is here. Yes, the
Okay.
VCD is here, and some few books that sing. And yeah, we had a lot of good times. uh, I'm grateful that all the private conversations are not gonna be opened here. Uh, and but in the end of it,
Bring up.
yeah,
Naaalala ko tuloy eh.
yes, I was waiting. I thought you already remembered. That's why we had to go for a break. So yeah, I mean, we've this catch up was much more interesting in its essence because there was a lot of stuff we unpacked, a lot of stuff that we didn't really want to unpack, but yeah, it came along the way. And yeah, entrepreneurship was, going back again to college. One thing that I admire from my guest is, of course, she was an entrepreneur. She had a salon, I think. Yeah, she had a salon, and it's funny, the leadership stuff came along. Even when she was a president, the reason why I really admire her as a president was because of her motivation and her I need to do this now kind of attitude. Really put a lot of influence in, especially in sing. In the things that I do, there are some certain things times that I often think like, just won't think of this. There are some moments that I do. I gotta ask, did leadership? Yeah, yeah. I mean, from every conversation, from every action, there are certain moments, that, especially in school when you guys were already graduated. There were certain moments. Geez, there were certain moments. Would Jeez react to this? How would Jeez do this? And yeah. And the thought of your scary face kind of demotivated me even worse. But yeah, in a good way. I mean it in a good way.
Oy,
That
parang...
yeah, in a good way. I mean, you were still your essence never left me in influence and thinking and mentality. You're a phenomenal legend through and through. I gotta ask. Now we're gonna transition
thank
off
you.
of music. We're gonna transition into
Mhm.
leadership. Was leadership a natural thing to you ever since you found leadership, or whenever you found leadership? Was it a natural thing or was it developed?
It was absolutely developed in me. Kasi, we have to go back to childhood. Well, at least, childhood ko. Because, I grew up without a dad, and my mom was, she's an not an alcoholic, I'm sorry, workaholic. She's a workaholic. So, most of the time, ako lang yung, I mean, if your parents are absent, so you have to stand up for yourself. So, as a kid, una, hindi mo naman alam kung ano yung gagawin eh. But then, as you make mistakes along the way and as you explore life, mas naiintindihan mo yung mga bagay-bagay. And then, I think, may part din na it was kinda natural to me because it's not, in school, it's not that I want to lead. It's just, I want to, it's just that I have more ideas than my classmates. But then, hindi kasi sumasabay yung character ko dun sa idea eh. That's why people don't like me that much, or I have that intimidating character. So, later on, when I was in about when I was in college, first time in college ako kasi time na college eh. Yun. I also was involved in church, and yun eventually naman nade-develop naman yung character mo eh. Then especially when for me, I'm involved in the music ministry, and I'm also involved in discipling other people. So your character grows with your skill. So sobrang galing mo nga, pero you don't know how to manage people, you don't know how to talk to them in a relational sense, you don't know how to bring people with you instead of just bossing around. If you don't have the character but you have the skill, people will go away. So kailangan pantay yung skill and character mo. So I've been following the greatest leaders, lalo na sa music ministry. There was this time na I was already in Manila. Then I have a friend, her name is Maui, sa church namin sa Singapore, and then she had to take a break, nasa Manila siya that time. Nagkaroon kami ng opportunity to go to Vietnam together.
Wow.
To train musicians. Yes. So it's like that mentor and mentee type of relationship na I just received whatever I can receive from her, and then as I develop my own leadership skills, na itatama yung mga maling mindsets. Like for me, I'm rough with my words. Sometimes hindi nagtutugma yung ibig kong sabihin sa gusto kong sabihin. It's because I've been pinalaki ako sa isang environment na very tough.
Yeah.
So ganun yung nakuha ko from my environment. But then as I grew up, I've learned that I have to be gentle with people. So yun, as you work with different kinds of leaders, lalo na sa ministry, ina-adapt ko kung ano yung tamang pag-deal with people. Do I deal with this matter gracefully? I deal with this person ng tough or gracious love? Will I talk to this person or will I let the offense go? It's a matter of yung mga assessment ng mga ganong bagay. So for the leadership thing, Rajiv, I guess it was more of my part na may natural ability siya, but it was more of development. And I also spend money for books and trainings. In church, we had a lot of leadership trainings. So, yun, like meron din yung mga personality trainings. How do you deal with this type of personality, like this, like that. Yung mga yan. Kasi kapag alam mo yung personality ng person, alam mo kung paano siya i-approach and to work with that person. So, yun lang. And I'm still learning up to now. Marami pa rin naman akong kahit na nakaka-flatter yung comments mo and yung mga comments mo about my leadership, I still have a lot of things to learn and to grow within myself, especially in character.
Wow, that's so powerful. I felt that. We've never had that one-on-one when it came to leadership. It was I do agree. The way you handled us, and especially you handled us in the band. And how much you grilled me, it kind of makes sense now. It kind of comes in full circle now when it came to the marketing stuff. I mean, I don't mean to diss you behind. I mean, throughout that entire experience, I've never actually taken you that serious. I mean, I mean to say that I never really took it as an offense, because I knew you had something, you wanted something, and that's what I respect about you. And yeah, I mean, you wanted this to happen. Okay, we're gonna do. I remember we are gonna do movie night, and everybody had a lot of ideas, And then when it came to crunch time, especially months prior to the preparation, everybody started betraying their own words, and it was you against the word. And oh yeah, one thing also that I
Mm-hmm.
forgot to mention, and one thing that I'm proud of to share is that during my guest's recital, she was the one who did
Mm-hmm.
practically everything. I think she played drums as well for almost 8 tracks. She did the paperworks. I don't know how many tracks that was. She did the paperwork. She did the marketing. She practically did almost everything, and it was tough. It was tough to compete with that because she did everything. I mean, mind you, she was the president at that time, so she had to file the paperwork. She had to sign the paperwork and had to get the paperwork processed. And then after that, let alone she had orchestra around 7. I think starts from 6 or 7 or 5. I think I don't remember the times anymore. And then after that, she had to
Five.
handle,
5 to 7.
yeah. And then after that, right after that, she's done. She's with the committee, with the top committee, and then she's getting everything done, paperwork done, posters done. Thanks to Canva, she made things easier for me. Now I'm a Canva addict thanks to her. And and she did that. She did that all. She played drums, and then she hosted everybody. And all I remember now, looking back at it, I was just the guy taking photographs. I was like, wow. When I found out, believe me, at first I did not know that you did all of that during that time. But after the event was done, and of course you got they also had a rerun, which was of course the year after that. I think it was a December or November they performed, and it was the next year they got promoted to the gym, which was the biggest event, the event of
Mm-hmm.
events. And after looking at Sing, and then I found out that you did that, I was like, whoa, I need to. I could not even express how much love and appreciation I have for and respect for what you've done, because that in itself
Salamat.
was a challenging task for us during our recital. And doing
Mm-hmm.
everything, it was really tough. I don't want to I don't want to specify details of how we did ours, but yeah, we could not
Yeah.
compete with what she did. And yeah, I mean, she's an amazing role model, this legend here, and it's a huge honor. Like I said, this is a good feeling. It's a terrifying feeling because of the achievements, the list of achievements and things that she's done are endless. I'm sure even in the past she's done more aside from the college stuff. But yeah, I mean, you are such a legend, and I salute you. I mean, I raise a glass and to every time, and yeah, we've basically went back to college and high school, and this is an amazing conversation.
Yeah, yeah. You know what, Rajiv? Let me add to that.
Sure, sure.
Um, yeah. One of the mistakes that I realized when I was doing all of those things is, yun nga, sabi mo, I did the paperwork and then perform and blah, 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 blah. One of the things that I realized that time was that if you have a dream, even if you're the only one doing it, you have to do it just to fulfill your dream. So it was my dream for our music to be seen by a large crowd.
Mm.
It was my dream to promote BA music to a higher level. Diba? We got recognized for it. We even got featured in the magazine of SLAS.
True.
And
I
then,
remember that.
yeah, we were the first batch who had a concert at the gym, and our songs were copyrighted by the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines. We were the batch that achieved that. Well, it's because it starts with a dream. And thank you for telling me that I've become your inspiration, kasi alam mo yun, yung mga times na yun, sumusuko na din ako eh. Orchestra, and then
Yeah.
yung mga drama pa, yung mga nang backstab, yung mga ganyan. And then,
True.
of course, estudyante tayo. We have to study and pass our requirements. So,
Yeah.
nakakaiyak talaga. Yung isi-schedule mo yung tulog so that you can have tulog. But,
Yeah.
my inspiration really was you guys. It's because I wanted to pave a way. I want to pave the path for you guys. I want the next batch to have it easier than I did or we did.
I can't follow up to that because uh, you blow my mind away every time you speak, especially. But the one thing that I gotta confess though, since I'm on the record, is that
Mm-hmm.
of course, with all the good stuff that I've said over the course of this conversation, there were a lot of stuff that really, how can I say it without being diplomatically non-offensive? Boring, I guess the word is.
Sige, go.
It was not,
Boring.
yeah, it was
Uh-huh.
boring in its essence. Is that when you make a speech and when you have the PowerPoints, we do not know when the end of it is. We love you. Believe me, we love you, but the PowerPoints are the scariest thing because once you said the one thing I love about you is that you have words and acronyms, which is kind of creative. That's really a creative thing.
That was only one time. Grabe ka,
Yeah.
isang beses lang yun.
Yeah, but the funny thing about that one time, it felt like I was glad you never took supercalifragilisticexpialidocious as an acronym. We would have been, whoa, this is a longer thing. And I think that was recognition and awards night. We were already hungry by that time. It was like, come on, man, we got food to eat. Yeah. And that was,
Yeah, sorry for that.
no, but we love you for that. I think that was not the one time. That was not the recognition. I think even during the time when we were in someone's house, there was also a time when you did that. We had a PowerPoint presentation there.
Yung team building.
And
Was that boring? Ikaw lang ba yon or pati yung iba?
no, I'm confessing on my behalf. I don't care about anyone else. Probably they agree with me. But for me, I'm glad you never used supercalifragilisticexpialidocious as a word. And I'm thankful at least. At least the words were like 5 letters. 6 letters is survivable. 7 letters were already dead. 8 letters, please give us the food. And then you talk, It was kind of like that. Well, we love you. We will listen. We listen to everything that you've
Ikaw
done.
talaga.
Yeah. That was the one thing I had to confess because
Noted.
yeah.
Mhm.
That was
Anong confess? Sinabi mo na kaya yun? Sinabi mo na yun sa akin before.
Hindi ko maalala eh. Pero yeah, reminiscing because there was a lot of stuff that I regret reminiscing. But that is the one thing that I had to say because
Okay.
and phenomenal. We've had we had an amazing talk. I mean, I'm literally scared,
Mhm.
and I'm actually scared to follow up with the questions because every single word that you say is powerful, and it's true. I mean, from the bottom of your heart, we knew how hard you were, and I felt bad picking on you on those times, and you kind of yeah. I felt bad for being over too sensitive, but I never realized. But that's one thing about me. I don't realize when I'm in the moment. And then of course when we had the conversations, it was kind of like that brother sister approach, which was it was one thing that warmed my heart, especially when I love talking to you and confessing stuff. But
Confessing stuff.
we're not gonna get into that one anyway.
Okay. The past is the past.
Yeah, the past is the past, and the confessing stuff is there. Before we wrap this conversation, if my listeners want to connect with you, they want to find you on social media. How do they find you on social media?
Find me on social media. Let me check. I have a public page. It's on Facebook. It's called Perfection Kills Productivity, but I am actually rebranding it soon to Perfection Kills Progress. Kasi, yun, Perfection Kills Progress. Yun, alam mo na yun, Rajiv, yung ugali ko na dapat ganito, dapat ganyan, dapat ganito, ganyan. And then it never gets done because it's imperfect. So I don't want to let it out. But I've learned in college na people move on very easily. So yung very little details na imperfections, people won't remember that. So go ahead and just publish anyway. So yun yung inspiration ko for this. It's on Facebook at Perfection Kills Progress once you hear this next year. And then I also have my IG, same name.
Awesome.
Whatever you heard right now, it's reflected on that page. It's basically a personal blog, and it talks about financial freedom, personal development, and leadership.
Awesome. With that in mind, I want to thank the legend, the one and only president of the batch, the president of the batch. Jeez, thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. Hopefully, you'd come back to the Rajiv show, and I'm looking forward to hopefully having everybody having a round table discussion about music, and it'll be interesting to learn a thing or two about everybody's insights. Hopefully, I can book you at that time, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, and thank you for, not just for being a part of the show, being a part of that motivation, that fire, that energy, and you being you. we would never have done it without you being you, which is the main essence of saying. So yeah, I'm grateful, and from, like I said, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for being a guest and for being a part of my life. So yeah.
Wow. You're very much welcome, and thank you for inviting me. Sana may part 2.
Oh yeah. I'm working on that as soon as we get there. We cross the bridge when we get there. So yeah, for those who listened to the podcast, I hope you learned a thing or two. And with that in mind, folks, cheers and stay safe. I will see you in the next episode.